Okay, first speaker is Commissioner Kent Carter. You can come forward. I would see you.
Thank you very much. First of all, Majority Leader asked me to speak first, and I'm going to be very brief. I came here to listen for my fellow citizens. When you hear this, unless you're one of us, I kind of consider you all part of us government folks. I mean, you know, the 17th, the 8th, the 2nd, the 30th, variances, central weights. I mean, anybody here know what they're talking about other than us? I know you do, Delegate, but it's a complicated thing. I look at it like anything else. Kanawha County is sort of like a pie, and due to the population loss, it's going to be split a little bit, and we're going to have to share. I think it's pretty simple, but it's not a simple piece of pie. It's more like a cake. There's probably 4 layers to this as I look at it, and I've had a very good prosecutorial teacher here, Senator McCabe and others, and trying to explain this to me. And for the folks here, there are several issues. Number one, the final decision on this will absolutely be made by the House and the Senate. I think we can all agree on that. Then they have to, by courtesy, they're supposed to agree to each other. They may or may not. That's up to you all. But the decision, what happens to us as far as our redistricting, will be in the Senate and in the House. The issue of the 2nd congressional district is one layer of cake. It's really totally separate. And there are several plans floating around. I don't know if you've heard or not, but there's plans that theoretically would take the 2nd congressional district and reconfigure it to wouldn't look anything like it does today, and put our current congressional representative to have to run against someone else in another congressional district. I think you'll have a tough time finding just about anybody in Kanawha County who thinks that's a good idea. But that's up to the people and the people in the House to decide that in the Senate. That's one layer of the cake. The next layer of the cake is the argument whether once redistricting is done, and this has nothing to do with redistricting, as I understand it, there could be a change by House rules to do away with what's called multiple districts, like the 3rd. Change it however the House wants to do it. It has nothing to do with redistricting, but it could be on the table. And that's an issue that sounds hard to believe, might have some politics involved in that. I doubt it could have a little bit. Then the next layer of the cake is what will happen, and I didn't get the numbers mixed up. I don't even remember the numbers from central districts. I know we got 4 wonderful senators here. I guess technically it's the 8th and 17th. And they're overlapped, meaning they run county-wide, and the fact that we lost about 7,000 in population, you have to have 109,000, then the bottom line is we're probably going to lose 1 senator out of 4, and even that's not as simple as it sounds. There'll probably be 2 that will be totally Kanawha County, and then the other 2 will run, and you could have 1 you have to have 1 by Constitution, 1 county and the other, that's inside of baseball, but probably will end up having a person that represents both Kanawha and another county too, which we haven't had before. Other counties think that's absolutely normal. When you heard the senators get up, they ran off the lick. How many counties are represented? That's more likely than not what's going to happen here. There are about many plans as you can think of and look at. When you take a look at it. One of the plans probably would be we could share a senator with the county of Putnam. Another plan would be we would share a senator with maybe Boone County or a composite of that. Again, that is entirely up to the Senate and the House. We do not vote on that. From my perspective, I'm here to listen, here to work with the folks here, see what people in Kanawha County think. We may even have another public meeting for ourselves on that. I do say this, I commend the Senate for holding these public hearings. I commend the Senate for what appears to me to be transparency. And I hope the House will follow suit. They haven't started yet. For those of you that have questions tonight, it's up to them as they're meeting online. I'll start asking them as they indicate to you, Senator Unger, the Majority Leader did, about specific plans. They don't have any yet. They have maps up there, and you can go up there and pull around with it and move anybody around you want to. I think those are the issues that are clearly going to be on the table. Number one, what amount of redistricting we'll have. We're going to have redistricting. It's very important. It's important for Kanawha County. It's important for, frankly, they're citizens of Kanawha County. So I'm glad to be here. I intend to listen. It's a privilege on behalf of Kanawha County. Welcome. Usually I introduce all the senators and members of the House when I get up and say something. They've already done that. Besides, that would take all day to do it again. But hello, senators, and good evening, and delegates. Thank you for being here.
Okay, Commissioner Rodney Cox, would you like to go to the podium?
Good evening, Senators. Good evening, delegates. Good evening, members of the public. I won't be quite as eloquent as Commissioner Carter. I'll try to be a little more brief. Just want to remember Roane County when you go through this process. We have been split for the last 10 years. We do have 4 great senators, Senator Hall, Senator Boley, Senator Noe, and Senator Facemeyer. But it's not an ideal situation in my mind to have counties split. We would like to keep the counties whole if we can. So just keep that in mind as you go through your process. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you, Senator Ungar. And all of you folks up here, I know I've worked with, and I appreciate the job you do. I'm late tonight because I had to preach and just got here from Boone County. I am the mayor of Chesapeake. I am the president of the Upper Kanawha Valley Mayors Association, and we have held meetings, we have talked, and I have some definite feelings about how things are going. Some of the folks I have agreed with that have talked to me, some I have disagreed with that have talked to me. So far as the congressional districts, I think they're fine. I believe we're going to keep 3 congresspersons. And so if you folks will divide them up equally, I have no problem with how you do it. The senatorial districts, we have 8 and 17 here in Kanawha County. And with that, we have 2 senators from each district. Well-known fact. If we lose a senator from Kanawha County, which I hope we do not, there would have to be some way of dividing that. There are some natural boundaries in Kanawha County. For instance, the Kanawha River runs from the very eastern part of Kanawha County to the very western part of Kanawha County. If you would go keep 4 districts, 4 senators, that would be great. But if you had to go to 3 senators, it means that someone is going to lose a job unless there's an overlay. Well, I think that it's kind of hard to be from one county and try to represent another county, although some have done it, and Mason County and Putnam County are, and Senator Hall is here, and he is from Putnam County, but he represents Mason County as well, although he's not from there. Knowing that Senator Mike is an honorable man, I think he will do a good job for whomever he represents. But certainly his heart could not be as much in Mason County as Putnam County. And I say that to mean that Kanawha County's senators ought to be divided evenly in Kanawha County. So if you go from 4 to 3, you may have to go north of the river, south of the river, if the population works out that way. If you would, or at 2. But if you went to 3, you could still go north and south of Kanawha River, and somewhere either in the eastern end or the western end of the county, come down or up and draw a line across the river where the population would be right. And you could three senators that way, 3 districts. But as I say, we would surely not like to overlap, and we would surely like to keep 4 senators, but that is what my thought and the Upper Kanawha Valley Mayor's thoughts have been about that. And then, I think I've said enough about that to know that I appreciate the group of senators that we have, and we have senators from all over in here that I know tonight. And then we come to the single delegate district versus what we have now. I have been all over the map on this, and with that, first I thought, well, single delegate districts sound good. And then I thought, how much clout would one delegate have? Not very much. And so I know that a minority district, District 31, was carved out in the middle of District 30 so that a minority could be elected. And for a long time it didn't happen anyway. And so if you have to work with a particular district, that might be the one. I know at one time, District 29 from Fayette County came down into Montgomery and parts of the eastern Kanawha Valley. And to me, that was a lot of confusion, because the folks over in Fayetteville don't necessarily favor the Down Valley District. Senator Laird's here, and he knows what I'm talking about, because they don't get down to Montgomery. So leaving that with Fayette County and changing it back was good, and it left Kanawha County intact. There are 3 in the 32nd district, and the 32nd district is kind of north. You know, I don't want to explain this. You know the lay of the land better than I do. But I guess what all the argument about is the 30th district. So I went from wanting a single member district to leaving the 30th like it was and carving out one single delegate district for the eastern Kanawha County. And I thought, you know, that'd be great. And then it came to me, no one from the eastern Kanawha County runs for the House of Delegates anyway. It's not because they can't get elected. It's because they don't run or don't feel like they're led to do that. So, I guess it's selfishness, and maybe you can call it that, or something else, or call me names. But I am much in favor of leaving the 7 delegates in District 30 as they are. The reason being, that is the only way the Upper Kanawha Valley is ever going to have any representation in the House of Delegates. I know that's opposite to what a lot of people feel, but it's true. I know at least 3 of those delegates that make it a priority to see what the Upper Kanawha Valley, what their feelings are. And others that are in opposition to keeping that and wanting single delegate districts are the ones that come up there too. So the mayors, the communities, the municipalities that I have talked to and that have talked to me and want to maintain a presence in having leadership need to leave it like it is so that we can feel like that someone is representing us, because if only one person gets to represent us, you know that they're not going to listen to anybody from the Upper Kanawha Valley. So I'm happy as it is. I thank you for your time, Senator.